Hi there. So you've fallen down the rabbit hole of acoustically treating your room. Perhaps you notice that there's a bit of echo when you record. I certainly notice it. I can hear it right now. It's pissing me off. Let's fix it. So here's what you'll need. A pair of safety glasses, a mask, and some gloves, which I'm sure you've got on hand. Some Gorilla Glue, 1.5-inch screws, staples, and a staple gun. Now for the wood frame itself, I just picked up some 1x3s from a local hardware store. I had them cut into 48-inch slabs and 30.5-inch slabs. And as for the fabric that's going to be surrounding the sound panels, I went with the cheapest polyester I could get my hands on. And lastly, the insulation itself. This is what's going to be doing the sound absorption, so it is the most important part in all of this. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to glue the corners of the frame together with the Gorilla Glue. Next, we're going to drill those wood screws into the same corners of the frame. And when you're finished, you should have something that looks like this. Now remember, if you haven't put the fabric underneath the frame yet, you should do so now. And remember, safety first, because we're going to be handling insulation next. Unless you're an anti-masker, in which case, put on a mask. Being careful not to let the insulation touch any exposed skin, make sure that you carefully place the slab itself into the frame. The ones that I purchased only take up half of the frame, so I need to put 2 into each frame. You're of course free to cut the insulation into any shape or size you'd like. I just felt the overall design was cleaner this way. Look, I just didn't want to do it, okay? Anyway, after you make sure the insulation's all snug and tight, it's time to move on to the fabric. First, you'll want to pull the fabric over the 3 sides that I'm showing here, leaving the side that's still attached to the roll of fabric where it is for now. Remember to pull as tight as you can. What we're trying to do here is remove as many creases as possible from underneath, which we can't really see. It won't be easy to fix later on, so really make sure that it's tight. Continuing to hold, use a staple gun to lock it in place. Once those 3 sides are stapled, bring the fabric from the side that you didn't staple over the top of the frame, covering the insulation so that it too can be stapled in place. Cut off any excess fabric here before you staple it in place, taking care to ensure that the backing fabric is covering all of the insulation. And there you have it! And we are back in the studio here. I've put the panels up. I made 6 of them. I'm only using 4 of them right now. I put one of them in front of me here. I put one behind me, and I put one on either side of me. So hopefully that cuts down on all the echo. Let's just, I can already hear that it is, but let's just compare it to some clap tests that I did before I treated the room and then after. And this is a clap test before I've acoustically treated the room. Ugh. And now let's compare that to the room that's been acoustically treated. And there you have it. I mean, you can really tell the difference between a room that's been treated versus one that hasn't, especially with that clap test. You know, you can really hear the echo before I put the panels up, and then as soon as I put them up, echo is almost entirely gone, which is amazing. And I can hear it in my voice too, much less echo, and that's really all I was hoping to achieve with this project. So if you're thinking about doing something like this, I can't recommend it enough. There's tons of videos out there. Just absorb as much information as you can. If I were to change one thing about what I did, I'd probably make them a little bit smaller. I was a little hesitant to cut the insulation. I should have just cut the insulation and made them a little smaller, but whatever. I have these gargantuans now. I can lug them around from room to room, and, I'm really excited to start using them now. Hopefully all my future content will be less echoey.